Hello. Okay. So in your notes, here's our Sparta stuff. Yeah. Here's where you're starting. Athens. Okay. In all honesty, we'll be in Athens for most of the rest of what we're doing. Because after I talk about the city specifically, we're going to go to philosophers. And a lot of these philosophers are Athenian. Okay. So on your map, Athens. So we have Sparta here. Athens is here. Sparta, Athens. Okay. Okay. Athens was described as looking like this. It looks cool, yeah. Way up there, the Acropolis looks way cool. Look at that. Yeah. What do you think? You want to live there? Well, that's Athens today. This is what's left of what you're seeing in this picture. Okay. This down here is not Greek. Look. If you look at Greek architecture, these are square or rectangle. Do you see this? In between all of these columns, it's a rectangle, a square, it's a straight edge. Same way over here. Rectangle. Come this way. Same way over here. Rectangle. Look. You're like, those are rectangles? No. It's an arch. It doesn't go straight across. There's a car that just stopped in front of the house. It's an arch. It's the Romans who built this down here. Whoa, where'd my thing go? There it is. This down here is Roman. This up here is ancient Greek. These are the ruins. It's okay, Freya. I guess there's a delivery. It's probably Amazon. We live on Amazon. Amazon is our friend. Okay. I love this picture. Look, let me make my head smaller. Okay. If you look at this picture, yeah, you have this mountain back there. You see it? This right here. Here it is again. What you're seeing here is this like raised plateau. Okay. On the other side of that, though, down here on the other side of that, we have a modern city. Athens is cool because it's a big mix of like stuff from 3,000 years ago. Well, 2,000. Well, I'd have to look up the actual dates of Pericles. I'd have to look that up. But I don't know. I may have it on your notes. Dang it, I didn't. I can look it up in a minute. But 2-ish thousand years ago, or 3, versus modern. This is modern. I think it's so cool. Can you imagine like living in, I don't know, this apartment building right here? This one right here. And you come out on your balcony, and what do you look at? That's so cool. I mean, you'd be seeing it from the other side, obviously. But that's so cool. You get to look at the Parthenon every day. I always wonder if people that live in these cities like know how amazing it is that they live in these cities. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, Athens is said to have been created by her, Athena. She's in myth one of Zeus's daughters. By the way, Ares, the god of war, is also Zeus's son, but she is said to be one of Zeus's daughters. She's goddess of wisdom. She's also a war goddess, but she's goddess of strategy, not just going out and crazy blood and guts fighting. She's goddess of like strategy fighting, strategic warfare. Okay. And what's crazy is Athens is so smart. How? I don't know. Maybe Athena really is the patron goddess. It's pretty cool. Although Greek mythology, dead religion, whatever. It's still fun to think about, right? I gotta scoot this out. I feel like I'm too squished. Hold on. Okay. Siabesa. Okay. So I don't know. Okay. One of the things that I hear from kids all the time is, oh, so Sparta's got the good military and Athens sucks. No. Sparta, if Sparta and Athens could get their crap together, the perfect city state. Most of the time they fight like siblings. But if they were one city state, it would be the perfect city state because you have education and all that stuff plus military. However, Athens doesn't really have an amazing infantry, foot soldiers, like Sparta does. But they do have a pretty amazing navy. And they have these ships, triremes. And basically, you see all the oars, yeah? You also see it's flat on the top. Here's the basic strategy. Do you see this? Oops. Do you see this right here? You just ram whatever ship. Boom! Straight into it. Then you can easily fight on these flat ships. You fight on the water. They actually work pretty well. They were also pretty, I honestly don't know what the word is in the water. It's like aerodynamic, but it's not because it's in the water. But it has a name. But they were also really easy to move. Like you could turn them easy. They weren't big and bulky and hard to move as ships. So the Athenian navy, awesome. The Athenian infantry, not so much. We can't be completely perfect, right? The Athenian government. As I told you, Athens claims to everybody that they're a democracy and they are darn proud of their democracy. And I mean, they should be. That's great. Let everybody vote, but they don't. Everybody can't vote. Women can't vote. Kids can't vote. Slaves can't vote. Non citizens can't vote. People who don't own land can't vote. So basically, rich, landowning citizens. Did I say rich? No, no. It doesn't have to do with wealth. Male, landowning citizens can vote. Vote for what? You're voting for representatives to be in the Council of 500. I know this gets confusing. Sparta has a council of elders. Athens has a council of 500. Sorry, I know it gets confusing. Kids are like, how am I supposed to keep that straight? You study. You study. This amazing thing happens when you study and you don't just hear something once. When you only hear something once, yeah, you didn't learn it. You study. And then you learn things. I know it's crazy. There's no easy way to remember it. Athens, 500, Sparta, elders. Okay, we don't have a king in Athens. We have the Council of 500. They get together and they make the laws. They get together and they rule. So, what are you voting for? You're voting for somebody, a representative, to be part of the Council of 500. Okay? In the Athenian government, you don't vote for laws. You vote for who you want to be in the government. That's like what we do, except sometimes we vote for laws too. But that's like what we do. We vote for senators to go and be part of the government. Okay? Same type idea. Oh, I don't want to go there yet. I was about to say that will change. It will, but as far as society, nothing new here. Girls? I didn't talk about females in Sparta, did I? Ooh, and that's a big deal. Let me go back up a little bit. Sparta, Athens. In Athens, it's no different. The women take care of the house, the women take care of the husband, the women take care of the kids. That's it. That's their job in Athens. That's it. No surprise. But look at Sparta up here. And I'm sorry, I did totally forget this in the last video if you watched it. Um, Women in Sparta have some jobs to do. They don't just sit there and take care of the kids. Not that I'm saying taking care of the kids isn't work, okay? It is. I understand that. Hi, Freya, baby. But what the women in. Hi, Flint. What's everybody doing? Hi, Sophie. Hi, Dad. The women in Sparta. Oh, he's on the phone. I thought he was talking to me. The women in Sparta also take care of the city while the men are gone. So women in Sparta do know some basic math or basic reading if they're taking care of a shop. They know basic fighting. Now, when I say fighting, they aren't taught like how to fight with spears and that kind of thing. They're taught that if the city gets attacked, do your best to hold them off until the military can get there. Okay. So the women are slightly athletic. They are especially trained runners and stuff like that. Okay. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot, didn't talk about it. That's a big difference. Girls, probably you want to be in Sparta, even though I personally like Athens better because of the intellectual, educational type stuff. I don't want to live in Athens as a female. No offense to kids and stuff. I just want some more rights. So most girls tend to prefer Sparta. That being said, Athens. Athens also has more slaves than any other city state in Greece. Roughly a third, a third? Yeah, roughly a third of the population of Athens, they're slaves. That's a crap load. A third of the entire population is slaves. Guys, Athenian noblemen, Athenian rich men didn't have to do a darn thing. They didn't have to do anything, which is honestly part of why they have the time to sit around and get educated. I was telling y'all that it's like Athens is so smart. Maybe Athena was, helping them out with her wisdom. Or maybe it's because they have so many slaves. They don't have to work, they don't have to lift a finger. So, what do they do all day? They read books, they sit around in a group and philosophize about things, they think, They learn. That's what they do. That's what you do too. You're like, no, I don't study in my free time. When you're bored and you're tired of playing games and crap on your phone, you just get on and you're like, I wonder about, and you're Googling stuff that you don't know. You're becoming educated. Now, you might be looking up, I don't know, stuff that, I don't know, songs or whatever. I don't know what you look up. Whatever. I don't want to know. But you might be looking up stuff that isn't like educated. But if it's something that you don't know, are you becoming educated in that field? Yes. Curiosity is just kind of natural, human nature. They're bored, they learn. That's it. After the Persian Wars. After the what? The Persian Wars. Remember Xerxes? Leonidas? After this first battle, it's called the Battle of Thermopylae. That's what the movie 300 is about. After that battle, and all them Spartans die. That was good English, wasn't it? All them Spartans, all the Spartans die. Um, the rest of the Spartans, the other half of the military, and other city states, especially Athens, and famously Marathon, but especially Athens, they all kind of get involved. They all rise up together, and they're all going to go and kick Persia's butt. Athens too. Unfortunately for Athens, though, Persia's going to set fire to it. Most of Athens gets destroyed because of a massive fire that the Persian Xerxes sets up. Okay? Well, after the Persian Wars, after the Persian Wars, oh my gosh. Here we go. We have this guy. His name is Pericles. Pericles. You see it at the bottom of the picture, but you'll also see it right here. Guys, in Greek, whenever you have that ES right there, it's an ease sound. His name is not Pericles. Pericles. Pericles becomes kind of the leader of the Council of 500. Okay? Athens needs to be rebuilt. Oh, I was going to look up the dates. 495, Alexander's coming in about 100 years. So Greece today, the ruins of Greece that are left are about, what, 2,500 years old? Yeah, 2,500. Yeah, so those are about 2,500 years old. Because this that you see, a lot of it is rebuilt not by Pericles, but while Pericles is kind of like in control of the Council of 500. Okay, he rebuilds Athens. It's called beautifying Athens. And we're going to have other leaders at different times beautifying things. Are you okay? I have a dog issue. Come here, little girl. What's the matter? Sweetie, there you go. She's up on the chair like she wants up, but she wouldn't really help me. You gotta help a little bit, sweetie. Sophie. Can you say hi to Sophie? Sophie very tired. Yeah. It's Freya's sister. Okay. You gonna sit down? Okay, baby. So it's called beautifying, and we will see other places beautify their cities and their countries and their kingdoms and stuff. It doesn't mean I'm making it pretty. Often it means we're rebuilding, or we are rebuilding for whatever reason, rebuilding. Okay, so that's usually when you see beautifying something. That's usually what it means. We're rebuilding. In this case, they have to rebuild after the Persian Wars. They're also going to have another war with Sparta, the Peloponnesian War, that they're going to have to, rebuild too. But that's beside the point. Okay, so Pericles. So one of the things he does is he rebuilds, he beautifies Athens. He is, I don't want to say he doesn't do it. He's in charge when they rebuild and leave the ruins that are left today. Baby, do you want down? Do you want up or down, sweetie? She said, I don't know. Okay. She's sitting here. Sweetie, you want to go or stay? Okay. Something else about Pericles. After the wars, we've lost a whole lot of people in Athens. The death rate was a lot, right? And so a lot of the Council of 500, there's just not 500 people in the Council of 500 anymore. It's time to vote, right? Put more people in the government. Pericles has an idea. The idea is to create a direct democracy. When I ask you what kind of governments Athens had, democracy, but really it was a republic, and a direct democracy. Okay, here, sweetie. I don't know what you want. I don't know what's wrong. Now I have white hair all over me. Okay, in a direct democracy, what happens is you stop voting for representatives. No more voting for representatives to be part of the government. You are automatically part of the government. Who is? Adult males, including peasants. Well, they're uneducated, but I mean, we need the numbers, so okay. Pericles is trying to widen the amount of people who are like involved in the government. He is, now I'm not saying he was like a peasant lover, probably not, but he is trying to allow some more lower class people to be in the government. Unfortunately, most of them are still not going to be part of the government. We see that today also. When you look at, like, after big elections, when you look at, like, percentages of who voted and who didn't and stuff. Well, hi, Freya. Hi, baby. When you look at percentages of who voted and who didn't, most often, the biggest number social status wise of people that didn't vote are the lower classes. When you ask them, why didn't you vote? Most often, this is their answer. My vote doesn't matter anyway. It's not about being rich or poor, it's about being educated or not. Your vote does count. No, we have the Electoral College. Your vote does count. The Electoral College is supposed to do what you tell them to. Could they technically change their vote to whatever they want? Yeah. They're not supposed to. Your vote does count. Even if there's 70% of the people who want one president and 30% who don't, and you know you're on the losing side, your vote still counts. Why? Because then we know exactly who's against the president. 30% of the people don't want him in charge. You're like, what does that matter? Historically speaking, it matters. We look at things like, why did all of the Germans go along with Adolf Hitler? They didn't. They didn't. Large numbers of people didn't back Hitler. They kept their mouths shut because they would be sent to camps if they didn't. But they didn't back him. From a historical point of view, that kind of thing matters. Again, I know you're like, I don't care about history. History does repeat itself. So, Pericles opens up the government to lower class people. Most of them don't take advantage of it. There's a lot more lower classes than there are upper class. If the lower class would get together and all with their numbers do something, we would have change. See, if you don't vote or if you don't participate, you don't really have the right to gripe. Now, teenagers, you can't participate. So I'm not talking about you. Gripe all you want. You can't participate yet. I understand that. Once you're 18 though, the first thing I say every single time somebody gripes about the government. Oh, so you voted for the other guy? No, I didn't vote. It didn't matter. Nobody thought Trump would win. Nobody. Of course, there are people who hoped. Of course, there are people who hoped he didn't. But nobody really thought he would. Massive numbers of people who said that they supported Hillary Clinton didn't vote. Why? Well, all those other people are going to do it for me. I don't need to. You don't really get the right to vote. I'm sorry, to gripe if you don't vote. And see, Pericles tries. Oh, I didn't even highlight the right thing. Pericles tries, but people still aren't jumping on it. They don't have to vote for a representative. They just get to go to a government meeting and they're already there. They're already part of the government. They can vote on laws and stuff. Man, we could have seen such change if those lower classes had participated. But they didn't, mostly. I mean, Bob the peasant might have gone, but none of Bob's friends went. It's really kind of sad. One of the things Pericles does really support, though, is learning, education. He loved the wisdom in Athens. And he's going to especially support the philosophy that we'll start talking about. He loves that there's like groups of people that would sit in certain places outside and philosophize and think and learn and study. And I don't mean learn like you guys. They didn't have like schools like you guys, but he loved that. Absolutely loved it. This is also when a lot of the stuff that we know about Ancient Greece from before this, we start like this is wait, I don't know if I'm saying this right. We have some historians. Thucydides, I just like that name. Thucydides, Thucydides, and there's different ways that you'll hear people say this. Um, Herodotus, and I've heard people say Herodotus. I typically say Herodotus, but Thucydides and Herodotus are some of our early historians from like Greece, and they write a lot of the history from previous to this time period. So a lot of the stuff that we know before this comes from them. Could they be wrong? Yeah, that's all we got. So, man, we're getting into some philosophy, guys. Some kids love it. Some kids would rather shoot themselves in their head. Don't please. You got this. It's not that hard. We'll start there next.